He's just tailor-made for being kicked all over the place.
Conor McGregor thinks Michael Chandler is simply a tune-up fight for what he believes will be the greatest comeback in combat sports history. In an exclusive interview with the UFC after the airing of The Ultimate Fighter Season 31, where McGregor is coaching opposite Chandler, the Irishman sent a stern warning to his foe.
I'm going to kick this guy in the head. He's just tailor-made for being kicked all over the place, and that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to wrap this steel bar around the opponent.
Chandler beware, McGregor's titanium shin bone seems to be doing quite a lot of damage in sparring. Recently, the Irishman was seen dropping one of his tough team members with a body kick during a training session. The Notorious has only fought 4 times in the last 7 years, averaging a fight every 2 years, which is obviously not enough for him. So, moving forward, he wants to fight 4 times a year.
Like, and I want 4, 3, 4.
McGregor seems confident ahead of his return to the octagon, but so's Chandler, and the American is eyeing a second-round knockout.
He believes that he's a little bit too slicey, a little bit too dicey. I said I'm going to bludgeon him with my hands. I think my Mystic Mike prediction is that I knock him out in the second round. I go out there, I get in his face, I put the foot on the gas early, as I always do. I believe I wear him down in the first, he wilts, and I knock him out in the second.
Here's a video of the two having a friendly chat, which ultimately ends up with Chandler getting brutally roasted.
Michael is not on my level. What was the Mystic Mike predictions?
Second round KO.
Keep dreaming, bud. Keep dreaming.
Hit you with the hard ones in the first.
If I told you what weight it's going to be, 185.
You want to do 185? I'll do 185.
You'll do what you're told. I'm going to pin you.
Michael Bisping picks apart Chael Sonnen for his conspiracy theory regarding Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of the story, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. Thank you.
I'm hearing strong rumors that the Stipe and Jones is going to go up in flames.
Michael Bisping really wants to know who is feeding Chael Sonnen lies like Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic may not happen. In a recent interview, Chael Sonnen claimed he's hearing rumors that Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic is going up in flames, and the UFC is now looking to book a fight between Jones and Sergey Pavlovich in Australia. Michael Bisping low-key calls Chael's claims a load of crap.
It seemed like the fight was set, originally destined for International Fight Week, but then I think it got moved to Madison Square Garden in November. That was the rumor, but now Chael P. Sonnen, the Westlands, Oregon's gangster, okay? The #1 bad guy, he's coming out and he's saying apparently that might not go down. Now, I'm just going to say, take everything that Chael says with a pinch of salt. This is not me attacking Chael. This is not YouTube wars. This is me just saying I don't know where he's getting his information. And Chael doesn't even quote a source. I will say this, as someone that works for the UFC, I have heard nothing of the sort.
Whether Jon Jones fights Miocic or Pavlovich next, Jon Anik thinks he's not as ideal of a heavyweight champion as someone like Pavlovich would be.
Jon Jones is your heavyweight champion, right? I mean, that's ideal in a lot of respects, but maybe less than ideal in a lot of others. Sergey Pavlovich probably fight every 3 months, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anik raised a good point, but here's the catch. Sonnen thinks Pavlovich would probably also fight less frequently if he becomes a champion.
I thought it was a good one. But the answer of would you like an regular and infrequent Jon Jones or a very active Sergey Pavlovich? If you were looking at today, the answer may not be what you think. Now, down the road, you grab Sergey now and you try to equate that out over, say, a 3.5 to 4 year run. So now we're talking about 8 to 11 fights. Say they all went his way. And you had a cooperative guy who would continue to come to her. I mean, that would be something really cool, but you're also talking about a unicorn. Sergey Pavlovich is no different than any of the rest of them. As soon as you give him some run and you give him some attention, he's going to turn the gun on you.
Wonder what Michael Bisping will have to say about it. How about you guys? Jon Anik or Chael Sonnen? Who do you agree with?
It is the back end of my career in this sport.
Justin Gaethje believes retirement is inevitable, and he may ride into the sunset sooner than we think. In a recent interview, Gaethje was asked when he'd like to retire, and this is what he had to say.
I've never thought about it. It wasn't something, it's just the fact of the matter that, I would say by 37, I would like to not be doing this anymore. I'm 34 now. And so, yeah, 3 years is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long. I've been doing this for 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
And so ultimately, it is the back end of my career in this sport.
Gaethje averages roughly 2 fights a year in the UFC, so if he really wants to fight no more than 3 years, we still have 6 Gaethje fights to sit back and enjoy. The first of a potential 6 will come against Dustin Poirier for the BMF title at UFC 291. Now, Gaethje thinks the BMF belt is pretty stupid from a competitive standpoint, but from a financial one, it's just as good as an interim title.
And honestly, my true assessment, like when Masvidal and Diaz fought, I was like, this is stupid. And I still think it's kind of stupid. However, you know, to the fans that say it's stupid, I say that it's ultimately the UFC giving one more fighter one more opportunity to win and to gain an opportunity to get pay-per-view points. So to the people that say it's stupid, I say it's the UFC literally throwing a bone. And we always ask them to throw a bone, and they never do. And so I'm thankful that it is an opportunity that I get to fight for.
The first fight between Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier in 2018 was a violent one, with Poirier getting the job done in the 4th round after 3 high-octane rounds. Will the second fight be the same? Logan Paul was left gasping for air during a recent training session with UFC champions Israel Adesanya and Alex Volkanovski. Paul took to Instagram to reveal that he was pushed to his absolute limit. In an Instagram story, he said, quote, "They tired me out." In another story, which was in response to Alex Volkanovski saying it was a good session, Paul said, quote, "Good session? Yeah, right, they murdered me." Here are a few highlights from their training session.
Get to the side. You're doing it both sides. Graduation.
While Jake Paul is making his name in boxing, Logan is doing so in the world of professional wrestling. And he was most recently seen locking horns with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in April. Given the shape that he's in, Logan wants to get back inside the ring as soon as possible.
I think you're going to be the biggest star the UFC or the WWE has seen in like a decade.
Go. I am so hungry to get back in there, dude.
Yeah.
I am so hungry to get back in.
That's it for today. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's stories, so write to us in the comment section below. To stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of MMA, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for your continued love and support, and we'll see you in the next one.